I'm from Mumbai, Maharashtra.
Whereabouts?
Pardon?
Where exactly are you from in Mumbai, Maharashtra?
Well, I live in Dadar, near Shivaji Park.
What do you do?
I'm in Indian military.
You're in the Indian military.
Yeah. I'm a lieutenant in military. Passed out in 2021, June, 11th June.
From where?
From Dehradun, Uttarakhand. I was mentioned in the Swords of Honor. Well, I didn't win.
Why didn't you win?
In military, well, during my training days, I was called the lanky guy. Or another name, the Bombay guy. Like, not many people from Bombay get into military, I guess. We were two of them over there, but the other guy wasn't in my platoon. I was in Manekshaw in Imphal. The other guy was in PS Bhagat, so we didn't have much conversations.
Why did you join the military?
Well, when I was a kid, I was an engineer before. My dad made me a man of science. Did my mechanical engineering, did the normal things that an engineer does. My dad wanted me to become an officer, like mostly into the IS or IPS. Not IPS because he doesn't think that you should die for your country. I don't know his mentality over that, but he was always a class 2 employee who was like, his officers always used to harass him. That's what he used to say all the time. So he wanted me to become an officer, also my brother. And to be quite frank, after engineering, when I got into my company TCS, I don't think that that's what I wanted to do.
Why did you study engineering? Just because your dad?
Yeah. Not just because of my dad, I was curious in science. I had many questions related to science. I thought that by learning physics, by learning quantum mechanics, maybe I could find the reason of my being.
Is that what you're looking for? Your reason for being?
Yeah.
What have you found so far?
Well, I'm on the journey, I guess.
What journey is that?
I realized one thing, that you're not going to get the answers through maths and physics, at least not during my lifetime. Maybe in future, yeah. Maybe if we can think about fourth dimension and interstellar travel, I think that can be a reality, maybe in future, but I don't think during my lifetime. I think a guy like Albert Einstein and Newton are like once in a century guy, and what we need to do is we need to take this humanity forward so that they have the opportunity to have these kind of guys who can get us to the answers. But my lifetime, it's not possible. I got a little into Vedas. I realized maybe microbiology is the answer. Maybe finding things in my own body, maybe my own universe. Understanding my own universe will help me experience something that might get me the answer. So military was a good option for that. I could train my body, I could train my mind, I could get into situations where I have to be instinctive.
You like the military?
I like the military, I like the routine about it. But somehow I don't like the people over there.
Why?
I think they are regressive in certain ways. they are very strong people, but some guys are just stupid. I don't want to say about, like, not all of them. 10% of them are good, but yeah, 90% of them are stupid.
90% of them are stupid.
Yeah, they are into military just to kill.
And you went into the military to train your body.
Train my mind and my body.
And you think you needed that discipline?
Yeah. My mom inculcated discipline into me when I was a kid. She's a teacher, so waking up at 7 o'clock, having a routine, going to your physical training, going to your school, then coming back and then investing into your mind, doing your homework, uh, taking part in all cultural activities, competitions, curricular activities. That was my childhood in a nutshell. It was a good childhood.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy, but I still don't have answers that I'm looking for.
What is the singularly most important answer you have so far? That you do have, that you do know something to?
Well, one thing I do know that the world is not going in the right place.
What do you mean?
When I was in 10th standard, I had this chapter, Letter to Otto Frank. He's Anne Frank's dad. I read about it. And I somehow got invested into this whole World War thing, the Second World War. And I kept reading about it. I kept watching documentaries about it, all during my engineering days. I realized that most of the technology that we use right now was developed for the war. Like the radar that was developed by the British Air Force to stop the Luftwaffe coming into Britain and bombing them. Now it's that technology is used in our microwave ovens and we are just using it as a luxury. Alan Turing, he's like father of computers. He made this thing where you can decode Nazi Germany's messages in like 10 minutes. We all know about Oppenheimer. So most of the technologies that we started at that time are used right now, but what are they used for? To sell? For money. And the moment our security gets compromised, our luxuries goes out of the window. That's what I believe.
Seems to bother you.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot because people seem oblivious about this fact.
If there's any one thing you can change, what would it be?
I didn't get your
If
question.
there was any one thing you could change, what would it be?
I think I would like to change the damage to our environment that we've caused after Industrial Revolution. I don't think we are giving humanity enough time to reach to its potential. I think we are just reducing the time. I think people are not realizing things about global warming. I don't know, the government doesn't want to accept it or people are just too selfish about earning money and just dying because who's going to see the future and what about the kids? Fuck them. Like the people in power, I don't know how do they get there. But things need to change.
How do you think they're going to change?
To get into power.
You want to get into power?
Yeah.
To do what?
Right now to protect the environment. I think we need more forests in the country than bridges and subways and stuff. I think we need less of greenhouse emission gases We need to protect it. We need to give our chance. If we can think about these things, like no animal, no fucking animal can think about interstellar travel or going to the moon. An army is important right now because it's going to interstellar travel in future is going to cause a war. It is what it is. Earlier, the Britishers built a navy. They conquered the whole world because sea wasn't. It wasn't explode. They exploded. They built the best navy in the world, and they dominated the world. Right now, I think interstellar travel. I think space is the next frontier. I think we are going to go to the moon, extract its resources, and we are going to kill it if right people are not into power. I think we are going to die way sooner than we think.
Sounds like a dark future.
But that's where we are going.
Do you have a family besides your brother and your dad?
I have my cousins, but I'm not too close to them.
Are you close with your dad?
I was when I was a kid, I guess.
What
But
happened?
he didn't approve my decision of getting into military. I think my dad wanted me to become an officer because that's what he's seen his whole life, to become an officer, to maybe take a few money from here, take a few money from there, build an empire for yourself, have a lot of houses, and enjoy your life. That's what he says. Because I don't know, he has his reasons.
Think you're going to stay in the military?
I think if I have any chance of becoming the chief, yeah. If I don't, then there are other ways to get into power.
So you want to get into power?
Yeah.
What do you want to be, Prime Minister?
I think that's the answer for what I'm trying to solve. But you can't predict such things, so do the best that I can. Or, to be quite frank, it's about changing my DNA and passing on the genes to my kids. If I adapt the best in this current environment, then my kids have the best chance to adapt in future.
You're not married yet?
No, I'm not.
You're looking for a wife?
No, I'm not. I don't think that to have children you need to get married.
You don't think you have to get married?
No.
So what kind of mother for your children are you looking for?
I think caring, nurturing. Someone who could look after her while I'm out.
Where will you be?
Changing the world, I guess.
Has anyone ever told you you're idealistic?
I haven't told anyone these thoughts.
What do you tell people?
What they want to hear.
And what do they want to hear?
Open your phone, go on Instagram, you'll find hundreds of people what they want to hear. Everybody wants to dance, act like nothing's happening, act like we are gonna live on this world for I don't know how many years, and we are never going to die. Let's make another video.
So it's trivial.
Yeah, it's trivial. It's exhausting watching them, like guys wearing girls' outfit and then trying to make something so that they can have some followers and who can pay them for the fucking instrument that I don't know, so that they can have more money, and then spend those money to have more money, and spend it again to have everything that they want. Like who the fucking use an electric toothbrush? What are your hands for?
Consumerism bothers you.
I don't think we were born to consume. I think we are there for materialistic gains in this world, yeah, but the materialistic gains that we are going to right now, it's not what the definition of it is. I think materialistic happiness are the trees that are over here, are the mountains, are the beaches. It's not stock market. Like, what are you doing over there? You're putting money, it's going up, it's going down, and their whole life like fucking waiting for it to go up. And what? Have more money, and then do what are you going to do of that money? It's not going in the right way.
What would you change? What would be the first thing you would change if you were in charge?
First thing I will change is control your population. Earth has limited resources. You can't just keep on having children, 11, 12, 15 of them. What are you doing? Educate people maybe, but I don't think that's working. There have to be some stricter laws. Like, go down over here. After COVID-19, people are spitting on the streets. Still. How the fuck can you do that when you know that spit and all these things cause airborne diseases? Kill your, like, what are you doing? Having 15 of children so that 5 may die and you still have 10? What, are we animals still? Then why the fuck are we evolved? Some people aren't evolved. That's the truth of nature. Some people do, some people don't, and sometimes I feel it's inhuman, but you need to accept it. You need to tell people for what they are.
You don't think education would help?
Look at the teachers. Like, I've never had a good teacher in my life. What is education doing? Like, teachers are into their own politics. Go into any institute. They are teaching students like 40, 50 students at a time. I remember going to a teacher once with all the excitement, and what did she tell me? Like, your father is in railways, can you book a ticket for me? Like, what the Teachers are meant to educate students, but I think people are into their own heads these days. Not these days, it's been happening since like independence, since we've been so much at peace right now, that technology is growing, AI is coming. What are you going to do? You're going to replace humans? And do what about it? Like, what is that, those VR glasses, like putting yourself in a fucking illusion and then living a life that you don't even have? And then do what? Die one day, wasting the energy, wasting electricity. Takes so much of energy to consume, to make electricity right now. People don't even get it. Go to this humpy place and there are these huge windmills. You'll find them. We are using thermal energy right now. We need to use these resources, solar energy and all, but the government isn't putting enough money into it to become a carbon zero emission country. We are saying we are doing it a lot, but to be quite frank, I know the execution, it's not happening. They are just policies. Just policies being thrown at people.
So what's the future hold?
What's the future of?
What's the future hold for us?
I think if we keep going the way we are going, I think we are going to start losing cities first because of global warming, because it's there. It's right in front of you. I don't think it'll be like 50, 60 years. Max 100 years, 200 years, I don't know. But it won't be long. We'll start losing cities, maybe then we'll realize, but maybe then it'll be too late. And then people are just going to kill each other. And if that's going to happen in future, why not control the population right now? Why wait for such a long time for that to happen?
How much longer do you think you'll stay in the military?
I don't know the answer to that.
Why not?
I think I haven't achieved enough what I wanted to achieve. I got posted in 2022. That's like 1.5 years back. I was in Northeast. I thought that there will be something for me to go in there, make a strategy about it, think about it, but it was mostly at peace. We were mostly at peace. Then our unit shifted to a peace base in Pune, and I think I'm going to stay there for a couple of years. Maybe train myself, maybe maybe lose my lankiness. That's what people say. I'm too slim for military. I need to grow more. I have a lot of idealistic opinions, but first I need to reach where I need to reach. I can't change everything in 2 years, 3 years, maybe not even in my lifetime. Maybe my children will, maybe someone else's children will. Maybe the genes that I have won't be in my children, maybe their children will have it, dominant, recessive. You don't know. You can't predict everything, but one thing you can do is you can try. You can try to change. If people are causing so much damage, and if you try, maybe it can happen. If it doesn't happen, we are already doomed. We are not going any place better that I'm killing it. It's just going to happen. So the best I can do is try, and I'll try.
Thank you. You done?